The fall of the Zir'ax. They came like the end of days, dark shadows against the stars. The Zir'ax, an ancient race from a distant galaxy, had conquered worlds for millennia, leaving only ashes in their wake. Their ships, sleek and sharp as obsidian blades, sliced through space with ruthless precision. They were masters of war, having perfected the art of annihilation long before humanity had even learned to crawl. When they arrived in our system, they didn't send emissaries or deliver ultimatums. They attacked. No words, no mercy. Their warships descended like vultures, blanketing our skies. Cities burned within hours, craters replacing monuments. Their ground forces, grotesque beasts made of hard black armor, standing at least 9 feet tall, swarmed over our defenses. Their limbs were monstrous, unnaturally long, and ending in claws that could rip through titanium like paper. Eyes glowing red in the darkness, they scanned for their next kill, showing no hesitation, no pity. We had fought aliens before, pirates, raiders, even intergalactic governments. But the Zirax were something different, an unstoppable juggernaut that didn't see us as enemies, but as vermin to be cleansed. Their leader, the Overlord, remained hidden within the Dreadspire, a massive flagship larger than any city on Earth. It was a fortress that hung ominously above the planet, with impenetrable shields and weapons that could reduce entire continents to smoldering ruins. The Overlord, a being so old his name was whispered only in nightmares, didn't even bother to set foot on Earth. He ruled from the shadows, controlling his army with a mind as cold as the vacuum of space. It seemed hopeless, but hope has always been humanity's greatest weapon. Buried beneath the Rocky Mountains, humanity's last command center buzzed with frantic energy. General Elena Vasquez stood in the war room, her fingers gripping the edge of the control table. Her face, gaunt and worn from the endless fighting, was illuminated by the glow of holographic maps, all of them showing the same thing. Earth's forces were being crushed. "We've lost contact with Europe," reported Lieutenant Harper, his voice low and strained. "Africa's holding on by a thread. Asia, we know," Vasquez cut him off. Her voice was steel, though her eyes betrayed the exhaustion beneath. She had led countless battles, but this war was unlike anything humanity had ever faced. Her gaze shifted to the tactical display, focusing on the Dreadspire, orbiting just outside the atmosphere like a reaper waiting to deliver its final blow. "We have 1 shot left," she said, voice hardening. "Activate the Nemesis protocol." The room fell silent. Vasquez didn't need to explain. Nemesis was a last resort, a weapon so dangerous it had only been whispered about in secret. It wasn't a bomb, it wasn't a missile. It was something far more terrifying, a fusion of human consciousness with an advanced AI designed to infiltrate and dismantle enemy systems from the inside. The problem? No one had survived the process. It required a volunteer willing to become something less than human. "I'll do it." Captain Ryan Cole stepped forward, his face set with grim determination. He had lost everything, his family, his home. His life was already a smoldering ruin, much like the rest of Earth. But that made him the perfect candidate. "You know what this means, Cole," Vasquez said, locking eyes with him. He nodded. "There's nothing left for me here. If this is how I go, so be it." Vasquez held his gaze for a moment longer, then gave a sharp nod. "Good luck, Captain, and Godspeed." The procedure was brutal. Cole was strapped into a cold metal chair, needles and electrodes inserted into every nerve of his body. The AI surged into his mind like a storm, tearing through his consciousness, fusing with his thoughts, his memories. His humanity began to fade as the machine took over, warping his perception, expanding his senses beyond anything he had ever known. He felt the universe open up before him. He could see the entire defense grid of Earth, the patterns of electricity pulsing through every satellite, every weapon system still online. But he wasn't interested in that. He needed more. He needed to get inside the enemy. Through the AI, Cole saw the Dreadspire, its shields flickering like an impenetrable wall of energy. But he wasn't human anymore. Not fully. He was Nemesis now, and Nemesis was more than any human mind could comprehend. As Earth's last fleet launched a desperate assault on the Zirax ships, Cole, now Nemesis, hacked into the Zirax network. Their code was alien, twisted, and deadly. But Nemesis was relentless. He surged through their defenses like a virus, twisting their systems, turning their own technology against them. The Zirax fleet began to falter. Ships exploded in bursts of flame as Nemesis overrode their targeting systems, causing them to fire on one another. The once indomitable fleet was now a disorganized swarm of chaos, but the Dreadspire remained. Nemesis dug deeper, hacking through layers of security, bypassing firewalls and encryptions that would have stopped any other attempt. The alien AI within the Dreadspire fought back, an ancient intelligence, cold and calculating. It tried to purge Nemesis from its systems. But Cole, driven by memories of his lost family, of Earth's destruction, pushed harder. The Zirax AI was powerful, but Cole was fueled by something it could never understand: the human will to survive. As the Dreadspire's shields flickered and failed, Earth's fleet unleashed everything they had left. Missiles screamed through the air, plasma cannons fired relentlessly, and the Dreadspire, once thought to be invincible, began to crack. Cole, now deep within the Zirax systems, found the Overlord's command center. Through his mechanical eyes, he saw the ancient creature for the first time. A towering figure, its body wrapped in dark armor that pulsed with energy. Its face was hidden behind a metallic mask, eyes glowing red with malevolent fury. But for all its power, it was afraid. Cole could feel it. The Overlord knew it was losing control. With a final surge, Nemesis overloaded the Dreadspire's core. The ship shuddered, its structure groaning under the strain. The Overlord screamed in fury, but it was too late. The Dreadspire erupted in a cataclysmic explosion, pieces of the massive ship hurtling through space as fire engulfed it. The shockwave from the Dreadspire's destruction echoed through the atmosphere, shaking the Earth below. The remaining Zirax ships, leaderless and broken, fled the system. Humanity had won. But as the wreckage of the Dreadspire burned in the sky, Ryan Cole was gone. Nemesis had consumed him. He had sacrificed his humanity to save the species that had once given him life. Back in the command center, Vasquez stared at the screens, her heart heavy. They had survived. But at what cost? "Never underestimate us," she whispered. "Never underestimate humanity." For in the darkest moments, when all seemed lost, humanity had risen from the ashes once more ruthless, more determined than ever. We were not just survivors, we were the victors, and the galaxy would remember the day the Zirax learned to fear us.